10 things I'm not doing anymore in my 50s. Number 1, caring what other people might think about me. Now, I know we spend a lot of time worrying about how behaving in a certain way to please others. And I think we get to a point where we need to start pleasing ourselves and taking care of ourselves and what we want to do and what we think and what we feel, and not be so concerned about what others might think of us. So I think as you get older, you get wiser and you realize that most of the time people aren't thinking about you anyway. So why are you wasting that energy trying to please others or worry about what they're saying, what they might think about you or what they're saying about you? Because in the end, it doesn't matter. They can think what they want and you can't control what other people do, think, or feel. So maybe just worry about what you think and feel and do and be happy with that. Number 2, being a perfect housekeeper. Now, I know in my younger years, being newly married with little kids, you want to keep a clean house and have everything in perfect order and have everything organized and ready and all that. And as a working person full time, I used to spend a lot of my weekends just cleaning up the house, tidying, getting things organized, preparing for the week to come, and all of that. And I've got to say, as when you're working full time, you want to take some time for yourself on the weekend and relax and have that downtime, so that you can recharge and rejuvenate and relax and do some fun things because you're spending your week working. You want to be able to use that time for other things. So no, I don't keep a perfect house anymore. It's clean enough, not always perfect, not always tidy, but I don't spend a lot of time worrying about it or a lot of energy on it anymore. I do it when I need to, and that's that. So my advice is don't worry about so much keeping a perfect house, because nobody's house is perfect, by the way, and it's a lot of energy that could be used doing other things that maybe bring you more joy. Number 3, having a perfect figure. Along the lines with having a perfect house, having a perfect figure. No, not anymore. One, is it even possible? I don't know. I don't think so. But there was a time, I was always very physically fit. I've been active all of my life, practically from the age of 5 up through early mid 40s. I was into all sorts of different types of athletics. So yes, I was always physically fit, toned, muscular, in good shape. But you see a change happen as you get into your 40s, mid 40s, early 50s. And quite honestly, I'm not as active as I used to be. And of course, as a result, I'm not as physically fit as I used to be. But that's okay. And you need to be okay with that. As we get older, I think we need to be easier on ourselves in that sense. It's not worth worrying about anymore, and I think you just have to be happy with yourself and be happy with your life and do things that you like to do, and that's that. And it's part of aging. We all are gonna get saggy in places over time and older and wrinklier and whatever. And I think you just have to accept it and accept yourself and be happy with that. Number 4, not taking things so seriously and not stressing so much over things that aren't important. Particularly, and I found this for me was more in my working life, I've got a hard work ethic and I want things to go really well and I want to do really well. And I've always pushed myself in every way to exceed and excel and do things really well. But then you realize as you get older, it's like, why are you worrying about some little things that you really don't need to worry about? Focus on what's important in life and not the little stupid things that don't really matter. So my biggest thing as I get older is just sort of recognizing that, and just trying to calm down, like get some perspective. Try not to worry so much about the little stupid things and focus on the big stuff. And if you can do that, then I think that's going to help a lot in terms of reducing your stress level and, you know, just relaxing on things. Like, you don't need to stress so much about little things. Number 5, not doing things that I don't want to do. You know, my time is my time. I don't want to feel obligated to have to do things that I don't want to do just to make someone else happy. I mean, I want to, you know, you need to take control of your own time and what you want to spend it on, and not feel obligated to have to do things just to please others. Again, it all comes down to self-care and doing what you want to do, and this is your life, right? And taking ownership of it and not feeling bad about not wanting to do something and letting somebody down. I mean, in the end, people are going to feel how they're going to feel about things, and again, it's your life. You own it, and you only have so much time in this life, so you need to spend it doing things that you like to do. Number 6, not holding back. I'm going to speak my mind. Again, this comes, I think, with age and wisdom and experience, and because of those things, your confidence grows as you get older. And because you don't care so much about what other people might think, you're more likely to sort of express yourself and say what you think, right? About certain things, whether it be whatever it is, right? And not feeling any kind of, I don't know, shyness or fear of hurting other people's feelings, because really, as long as you say it in a nice, tactful way, whatever it is, that you're kind about it, you can be honest, right? So it's about being honest more than, you know, just saying whatever you want and not caring. Be honest about your feelings and expressing them and saying what you think you need to say about certain things, even if it means telling somebody, hey, you know what? I don't like your attitude, or I don't like the way you're treating me, or I don't like whatever it is. I think we should have the right, anybody should have the right, but I think you should be secure enough in yourself and confident enough in yourself. And I think as you are, when you get older, what's the saying? The filter gets a bit rusty and you're going to say what you're going to say. Speak my mind and say what I think more than I ever used to. So that comes with age too. And just being older and wiser and more confident. Number 7, not feeling guilty about everything and forgiving yourself for mistakes, right? So we can be so hard on ourselves, can't we? And how we move through our lives, and we tend to, or at least for me in the past, you know, you feel guilty for not being able to do certain things, or forgetting to do certain things, or, you know, regretting doing something. I think we just need to forgive ourselves. We're human. We're all going to make mistakes in this lifetime. I mean, it's part of being here, right? I mean, that's how we learn our most valuable lessons, through hardships, failures, mistakes, and things like that. So I think if we can just learn to forgive ourselves for anything that, you know, maybe didn't go as well as we had wanted for it to go, or if we did or said something that maybe we look back now and think, oh, maybe that wasn't the best thing to do. I think we need to just forgive ourselves for anything like that, because it's part of life. And instead of beating yourself up about it, perhaps just sort of think about it and take away, you know, what did you learn from that experience? Number 8, I am not going to be so hard on myself physically and mentally anymore. I think I've mentioned already earlier in the video that I used to be pretty into athletics, and it was very hard on the body and the mind, actually, but on the body. And as I get older, I just find that, well, one, the body can't take what it used to be able to take, but two, I'm not sure I want to do it anymore, right? I've chosen to still exercise, but choose gentler methods of exercise. Things that not only support myself physically, but also emotionally and mentally as well. And it took a health scare for me to realize that. And I'm not going to really talk too much about that at this moment, but having gone through that experience, I decided that yes, it's time to really kind of take care of my physical, mental, emotional status. So I've chosen things like walking instead of running, swimming, yoga, meditation, and things like that as my way of self-care and exercise. No more running or beating myself up in the gym, or doing rigorous exercises, or rigorous exercise classes. I'm not doing that anymore. It's just, I don't want to. I'm tired. I think we all get tired as we get older. Physically, I'm tired. I don't want to do it anymore. And it is hard and it is stressful. And I've just decided, no more. Let's focus more on physical self-care that's going to support your body, whether it be through, like I said, yoga I love because you get some weight-bearing exercise from it, but also the stretching, and it feels so nice to be able to keep your flexibility and your mobility, and that's what's going to be really important as we get older, is retaining your mobility. So I'm choosing exercises that are going to support that. So walking is another great one. If you can go out for a 30-minute walk every day, outside especially, is so good for you, not just for your physical self, but for your mental self too. And it's a great way of reducing anxiety and stress. And if you're mindful about your walks, it can really help with reducing just your stress as well. So if you've not done that, I highly recommend that you do get out for a walk every day if you're able to, because it is helpful at the very least in that way, reducing your stress. So that's what I've decided to do. No more harsh physical or mental kind of activities. We're going to keep things gentle. That's the name of the game these days. Gentle exercise. Number 9 is I'm not going to rush through the day anymore. I've decided, you need to sort of be more present in your day and what you're doing, and spending time with your family and your friends, and enjoying the moment rather than rushing ahead for what's the next thing, what's the next thing I need to do on the list, where do I have to be tomorrow, next week, next month. And if you're too busy rushing around, you miss the important moments, right? So if you're able to just slow down, live in the moment, appreciate what's going on around you, and taking in those times when you have a bit of peace, and enjoying that and being really mindful with it. Because if you rush, you miss stuff, and you find that there's no finish line. What are you rushing for? Well, the finish line, there is a finish line. We don't want to think about it, but there is. But if you're too busy trying to race to the finish line, you're going to miss all the important and special things along the way. So slow down, take in what's happening around you, be mindful about what you're doing, who you're with, and enjoy life, and don't rush. And lastly, number 10, trying to change other people. You can't do it. People are going to be who they are. And like I say to my kids all the time, as they, if somebody's gotten on their nerves or has done something that's they've not liked or whatever, I just sort of say, you can only control what you think, say, and do, not what other people think, say, and do. So if you can focus on that and just realize that people are going to be who they're going to be, There's no point trying to change them. So focus on how you think, feel, and what you think, feel, and do and say. And that's all you can do. Everything else is kind of out of your control. So don't try. You're just going to be beating your head against the brick wall if you're going to try to change people, because you can't. They are who they are, and you're going to be who you are, and that's that. So as soon as you realize that, I think there's a burden that gets lifted from yourself, because you're not responsible for what other people think or say or do, and do things that you feel are right and that make you happy. And you can't control other people, so don't try. You're just wasting your time and your energy and your emotional well-being, so don't, because you can't. That's it.